Hello! I'm gonna open this video with something else. I'm still angry. Don't think I'm not. There's an Ask Me Anything going on, however, and I want to really quickly get away. If you have any questions for the Ask Me Anything, it is on a Discord server. I'm asking the owner if I can link to the server directly. Probably won't. But if you have any questions, you can put them in the comment section. I'll wire them through to Discord myself. And once the AMA has happened, I'll probably do a review of it. And I'll give him a good old-fashioned banana slammer. Because I've got opinions. Ooh, I've got strong opinions. They are strong enough to lift the sun! That's not how opinions work. But science says I can try. Anyway, let's do this last part of Lorem. I also did submit a few questions of my own. I got so many questions in these videos, but I don't recall them all, and some of them are not, like, questions he'll probably ever bother answering. So I submitted two. One is, Lorem and Sebastian. Was Sebastian originally going to be a bigger character? And did Lorem, what was the backup plan if Lorem never showed up? Was Sebastian going to be a second character? And all that kind of stuff. And second is about Damien being savable. Like, they didn't do that because, you know, that would be a lot more to keep track of, even this late in the game. But what would have been the way to save him? You know, that kind of stuff. And also a more logical question of, like, why did he stay in the first place? He has no reason to stick around at that point. Like, think about this. He's blackmailing Anna, yet he's agreeing to her terms to stick around late. That's not how blackmail works. I mean, the reason that is Lorem is because it's a private secret, so they're more likely to figure it out. I'm just saying, Lorem. They also feel betrayed, which is kind of the point. It's like, it's a big thing, and, like, that's kind of the thing, isn't it? That's the unreasonableness of a personality. It's like, that would have been a great way for him to squeeze in. Instead of being so belittling, he could have been like, it's kind of weird that people want you to say this up ahead, but at the same time, it's like not something you can open with because it's so fucking stupid to open with. No one starts out being, by the way, I'm completely biological female. Don't worry about that. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I changed this a bit. It's still basically the same sentences, but it carries a bit more like, works. Like, here Lorem is justifying talking because clearly you're open to the thought of talking about it. It just feels kind of doofy. It'd be like if a Dean suddenly puts her foot in the fucking door. It's like, why are you putting your foot in the door, Dean? That's not your personality. Why are you doing this? It's just like, well, you know, I make minimum wage. I'm like, I don't fucking care. Get out. You're scaring me. Oh, I gotta check that Discord, though, because the guy talked. Okay, I've been authorized to put a temporary link in the description. This is only active for 24 hours as sort of a precaution, so that later down the line people don't show up. If it doesn't work, it's over, essentially. Or maybe you're still in the group, in which case, do follow the rules, and do be nice. Be a good boy. Be a wholesome boy. The thing is, if violence is such a thing, like, why would it be like this? Lorem is a tiny little boy who has insecurity problems, and yet for some reason he wants to have this conversation despite the threat of violence. Like, what the hell is his... Like, Lorem's character seems to be completely deconstructed in these scenes. Like, suddenly he's acting entirely opposite of what he says. Now, I know I've said a little while ago that alignments, you can have this nugget of character. Like, you can be a nice guy, but when it comes down to it... But this is not really one of those moments. Like, Lorem clearly prepared for this and thought about this. Like, Lorem, why don't you just have one of them fucking sets removed? Pretty sure your genitals aren't your heart. You can just remove it. That way, yes, technically, but, you know, odds of being figured out is lower, and I don't think there's any major benefit to sticking with both. Like, it's just a weird thing, too. I'm pretty sure your dragons got the surgery. Although, maybe that's something they don't do. Like, that's something they're against. That'd be kind of interesting. Wouldn't that be an interesting conversation to have instead of this fucking Why are you garnering sympathy, Lorem? This is obvious. Like, it just feels so doofy that he's like, maybe the next person. Come on, Lorem. You've gotten your brownie points. Don't waste them on more whining. Like, everything, like, so much in this conversation, in this dialogue, has been just him whining. It doesn't make a good character if they're just sad. Give him something to be upbeat about or interested in. To have him talk about the details. Like, if he actually cared about video games, wouldn't he be like, man, I had this one problem. Like, ooh, man, what a problem it is. And he tries to explain it to you, like fucking Kevin. I gave Kevin a lot of shit, but at least he does something that makes sense for someone who's interested in a topic. Instead of Lorem, who talks about everything else! Instead of the specifics, which is weird. It feels like someone who's role-playing a character and is like, I'm gonna be a scientist. I know nothing about science, though. And it's like, okay! Good luck with your summaries, but you can't have any dialogue, I guess. What? Like, we've... I changed this a bit, because it's kind of a twitch. Like, I can't go through with this. It's already so difficult. There's a lot more, like, how... Like, why would you say something like this? Why wouldn't you be like, man, I just can't keep going on like this. It's so hard. Instead, he's like, how can I put myself out there when I know it's going to happen? Like, does he have a written script? Because it'd be kind of adorable if he was like, oh man, fuck, the script, and he pulls it out, and he actually written this down. Wouldn't he? Why? Like, he would! There's a whole... Like, you can make it so that Lorem just writes this shit down. He just has a script, and he follows it. Like, make that a plot point, and bring it up. That's fun. It makes him human. It's like, oh, that's why you had this really good statement prepared, because you write it fucking down and practice it. And that makes him sadder, because it means that he's been through this enough that he, A, knows that he has to write it down and establish it, and B, has practiced it in the first place. That makes a great character trait. It's like he's prepared, and he clearly understands and wants to do this as careful as possible. But instead it's like, I'm just gonna, I appear to be shaking this out of my sleeve, as they say it. Also, this is such a dupe. Of course you don't fucking know, because they don't know yet! So I changed that line to, I can't predict that. Which is a lot more logical than I just don't know. Like, this, I know this sentence is technically correct, but it doesn't feel like it's transmitting the intended meaning, is what I'm trying to say. Lorem, you're worried about a lot of things! Like, I'm gonna change this, that's what I'm worried about most. Because that is his life work, and it's basically the accumulation of all his worries. But it's so weird that he says, that's what I'm worried about. You're not worried about getting beaten up? I'm pretty sure that a few sentences ago you were like, I'm worried about getting beaten up. Ugh. Like, a sentence like this just establishes this is the only thing I'm worried about. It doesn't say also, it doesn't say the most. It doesn't establish anything about the context of this worry. But, Lorem, if you're a fucking hermaphrodite, you're gonna fit in fine with humans who are currently making a big fucking deal about gender that I think is taking it way out of proportion. Like I said, if your gender is your personality, you might wanna do some self-exploration, because that's kind of doofy. It's kind of doofy that you are establishing so much of yourself, not on your brain or your desires or anything, but on what's between your legs, whatever it's there or not. It's just kind of doofy to me. You are not your body, and your body is not you. They don't have to be. It can be, and that's great, but it can also not be, and that's also fine. And that's the thing a lot of people just seem to be struggling with, and that's kind of what's making the left look like such a fucking idiot storm. Is because on one end they're like, your body is who you are, and you gotta respect that, you gotta respect women. On the other side, it's like, but you can also not be a woman, and I don't know if you're now a chauvinistic man or trans, how, I don't know any. Like, people don't call themselves women, they're so much more, I'm trans. And it's just, isn't that, like, counterintuitive to the point of being trans? Is, you don't, like, it's like with Lorem. It's like, why would you bring attention to it? Just... You're making a bigger... You're putting the spotlight on it, is what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna change this line a bit, because again, it's such a fucking nonsense. That's what ambassadors fucking do, you dipshit! So I'm changing it to, you're only an ambassador, you don't have that much influence, but it's better than nothing. Which is establishing what he's trying to say, is like, listen, I know you're not the most important person in the fucking world, but you're more important than I am, and you can do something with that. Use your powers for good, Spider-Man. Oh man, Spider-Man's so cute. I love that little ghost story. It gets a little band-aid on his cheek! That was adorable! A little band-aid, like, look. That was a little scuff mark. Ah! Batman and Spider-Man. What a bunch of heroes. I like how the show is so called that even though Tomato Boy is essentially taken over. Shark Boy and Lava Girl! Wow. Like, again, why is this here? It's kind of weird that the good ending suddenly splits off like this. Oh, I love this. Make it happen. Where's that? Ah, that's so good! Look at that! So what's happening is, it's, the thing goes to the side because 1,000 is longer than 3 digits, so it has to shove everything off to the right a little bit. And that causes certain lines to realign themselves. And because it's realigning the lines, yeah, it realigns them in such a way that the sentence structure suddenly causes it to shorten. Or, no, it causes it to go longer. And now it's longer, so the line 1000 isn't on the screen, so it shoves it back to the left. But because it's back to the left, that means that the 1000 line is back there, so it has to shove it to the right, and it gets longer, and then it goes down, and then it goes... It's a cool cycle. It's a cool little dumb effect. I'm not very optimistic about a Dean, because the way these dates have been going, they're not good closures. I think the only reason a Dean's date could be a good one is hers is actually wrapping up her character moment at the same time. It's like showing off her lack of self-confidence. She gets angry at you. There's this moment in which your personalities clash and things are established. It's great. Next time on the translation videos, I don't know when the AMA is exactly going to be. I didn't keep track of that. Whenever it is, I'll be doing a video on that too, where I'll be going through the answers. Down below there's a link, as I said, to the Discord, where you can submit your own questions. Or you can submit them here and I'll submit them for you in your place. If you want to be anonymous, do mention it, otherwise I will be including your username in the question. Goodbye. Good luck.